in the most precision. What am I saying? Precision. Okay, precisely.
Thank you.
Here's the girl herself.
Oh my god, I sent you 2 invites. I was starting to feel rejected.
I was actually just talking to the people about my day. So
I was just talking to the people. Sorry. Someone said, are they in the same house on call? No, we live in different flats. We're in different locations.
You know, my mum texted me that earlier. She was like, is Monday night the night you and Ali do your live? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, do you do it from the same place?
To be fair, we could. We'd have to turn off the volume on one and just use the volume on... No, turn off the volume and the mic on one.
I think the problem would be, even if we were in separate rooms in the same house, I would be so loud that you would be able to hear me and you'd be a bit off.
Yeah, it's true. It's so true. Also, have you ever been...
I know my own flaws.
You don't work in like a corporate environment, but there is nothing worse than, like I was just saying, you're like, oh, you go on mute and I'll use my microphone. But when someone leaves their microphone on and that like wow, 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 wow sound happens when they join the call, I'm like, I fear that would be you. In my job, I just have to be the loudest in the room. And that's why you're so good at it.
And even then, they still talk over me.
Brogues is here. Hey, Brogues.
Hey, Brogues. Hopefully Holly's here too, because Holly, you were queen last week.
Oh no, we've got Hall. I know, we need someone to act as moderator.
We're fighting for our lives.
Fighting for our lives in the comments last week. Oh, Alice says, Katie, what's your job?
I'm a teacher. For better or worse.
A good one. Everyone wants to listen to the Irish girl.
Front facing.
Oh, someone says fave couple on TikTok. Thank you. Cute. I have got a treat for you later. I spent the last hour. So I've recently become a bit of a fan of using the AI tools. I'm entering the world. I'm becoming quite tech savvy, I'd say. So I thought I've forgotten to think of a little sign out line. So later on, I'll treat you to what ChatGPT created.
I am excited
because it's really good. Emily's put, "Where's Courtney?" Courtney has had a big kickoff with her comedy career, and she no longer has time to be queer and talk about football on a Monday night. So if you want to catch Courtney, you can go to her Instagram, and she is doing a London show in a few weeks, October time. So you can catch Courtney there.
The 19th, I want to say.
It's 4 days. 4 days in 2 weeks' time, I think.
At the Hope Theatre.
At the Hope Theatre. There you go.
And you get your tickets there.
Yeah. So if you want your fix, go see. Yeah. Like, please. Yeah. Okay, so we missed almost everything. Half the pitch. We weren't on the pitch. That's what we were off.
Well, we were celebrating love is what we were doing.
That's what we were doing. We were celebrating love. Not our love, someone else's love. Oh, Holly's here. Okay, Holly, can I sign you as moderator again? Oh my precious thing. Bro's also offered. Perfect. Holly said she's going to jump straight across to you, Katie. There you go. Yeah, we went to a wedding and we did miss an entire weekend of WSL stuff, but it was a very good wedding. It was totally worth it.
It was. And congratulations to Joe and Jack.
I know. It was a cool wedding.
Much happy wedding day. It was a beautiful wedding, beautiful weather. We were up north.
In the cold.
Experienced the cold northeast links.
Oh, good times. Good to see my hometown. Take some Cleethorpes fish and chips.
Oh, at 11:20 in the morning. Stunning.
There's no greater time to have fish and chips than on a hangover. I swear by it. I mean, I know you weren't having a hangover, but I was.
I trust you. That is probably exactly what you needed.
Someone's put, I saw you at the Arsenal versus BK Living for manager Matt Dancing. He was going for... You weren't there.
I wasn't. I had to do open evening. I had my school duties on, but but I wished I was there the entire
It
time.
was actually it was a very good game. It was fun.
And
I can't actually remember the
volley
score.
goal,
Was it 4-0?
it was 4-0.
It was good. It was fun. Manager Matt is a
Volley,
legend.
Caldente, Mead, Manham.
Yes. You know what? I was stood next to two girls at the it was like me, then Matt, and then these two girls, and I could hear them saying something like, Freedom Arnhem needs to come on and she needs to score an absolute belter. And like they were saying it, and then literally as soon as they put Freedom Arnhem on, she did score an absolute belter. And I was like, can you just keep saying things? Keep with these, please.
Watching on the little Arsenal player on the website, it wouldn't let me make it big. So I was like watching the tiniest little screen. And every time it went onto the North Bank, I was like, trying to spot you guys.
You were there written on your spot.
Trying to spot you. I couldn't.
Yeah, Brogues, we met, Brogues was there. Brogues was there on her own, so she came and stood with us with the family. Brogues came to the game, and it was like the first night where it was cold. Didn't bring a coat to Meadow Park.
Oh, those cold Meadow Park nights is something I will not miss when we're in the Emirates.
Not even a sleeve on her. She was a short sleeved gal for a full 90-minute game. Oh, it was. But she did.
Nothing quite like getting in the car and blasting the heater before you can think about moving.
I'd prepared for once. Brogues did get the joy of getting Manager Matt was a gentleman. He gave her his coat.
Good old Manager Matt.
If there's anyone who's doing,
did you share your orange segments?
I shared my own segments out as always. That's all. Do you know what? Do you know what Amy brought as her snack to the game? A mini cucumber. A mini cucumber. Yeah.
A mini cucumber?
And she couldn't wait to show me because I always give her fruit at the game. Guess what I brought? Whips out a mini cucumber from a handbag at the football game. Didn't see it coming.
I wouldn't see that coming either from Ames. But good work, Ames. Good work.
We'll work from Ames. Should do anything to Ames now.
Missed all of the WSL games, but Chelsea had an absolute screamer, 7-0 against Crystal Palace, the newest entries to the WSL.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, I love an underdog. I feel like they could have stopped after 3.
Yeah.
7 is a lot. They were just letting everyone have a go at that old goal.
I know. And to be fair as well, like, I'd say like a win is a win, but was it this season? It was literally based on goal difference, wasn't it? Like, yeah. And Chelsea, I don't think Man City are really smashing it in like Chelsea are at the moment. To be fair, they haven't played Crystal Palace yet, but like
1-0 against Brighton. So
yeah,
goal fest. I mean, it was Bunny Shaw, but it wasn't a goal fest.
That's what I mean. Apparently, though, someone commented. I put some up last night in my deathly tired state of affairs, and someone commented and said that last season Brighton beat Man City. Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, I must have known that and forgotten that. But like,
weird. Sometimes I think like those top level teams like Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, those sort of ones, top flight. I'm like, oh, they only kind of like lose to each other. And I forget that like, sometimes Arsenal have absolute stinkers. Like sometimes Arsenal lose to people that I'm like, interesting. We probably shouldn't have lost to them.
We'll just keep that to ourselves for now. We'll forget that happened. Yeah, to be fair.
Sorry.
And I'm saying that Emily's put here, and Emily's a Man City fan, and she's put, we don't talk about that.
But I'll tell you what, apart from Chelsea on Friday, the rest of the games were on Sunday. And it was not a goal fest. We had 1-0 Manchester Brighton. We had 1-0 to Manchester against Everton. 1-0 Arsenal versus Leicester, which we sort of tried to get to, but went to farm instead. It was 1-1 West Ham Liverpool, and it was 2-2 Aston Villa Spurs. So not tons of goals this weekend. And I low-key heard that the Arsenal game was boring.
Yeah, that's what everyone was saying. To be fair, though, I believe that. Sometimes you watch Arsenal play and you are just like, pop off, girl, give us nothing. It's either all in and you're like,
Exactly.
wow, they are on it, or you're like,
wow, did you even decide to turn up today?
eh. And then they get a goal, and it's sometimes. I mean, to be fair, I haven't actually seen the goal. I think it was Freedom Arnhem again.
Yes, I believe it was.
Yeah, I haven't seen the goal, so I don't know if it was an absolute corker or not. But then sometimes, even when they finally get that goal, you're still like, meh.
Nothing to write home about.
So yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
So,
Bros put Caitlin Ford switching up positions about 3 times. That was the only interesting part. I need to watch it. I need to find out.
Yeah, I need to pull up the old highlights. We've got a couple more games this week. FA Cup ties, the FA Women's League Cup, which we'll be going to. Birmingham City playing Brighton on Wednesday night. So if anybody is in Birmingham, hit us up. We will be there with our pint and our pie and our ticket for £7.50.
Can't resist the bargain.
It's a great night
Can't
out.
resist the bargain. That's cheaper if you bought a pie to buy.
I know. Birmingham are doing it right.
Absolutely taking it. Absolutely taking that.
And there's a couple other fixtures. There's Man U, Liverpool. There's Newcastle, Everton. West Ham are playing Portsmouth. Leicester City are playing Bristol. So there's quite a lot of exciting games if people fancy a little midweek venture.
Are these all what was the Conti Cup, right?
Yeah.
I am gutted that they... Right, so this is my plan. You know, last year I had that absolute disaster with my tyres. The embarrassing disaster with the tyres.
That was this year.
Sorry. Do you know this year I had that issue with my tyres? Well, obviously, the Conti Cup was sponsored by Continental Tyres, and I was like, you know what? You know what else is after these big sponsorship deals? I was like, the only thing I want to be sponsored by after my tyre fiasco is Continental Tyres. I was like, I don't care about ever getting anything in this world other than a sponsorship from Continental Tyres. I will be their ambassador.
You reckon I could get a sponsorship from Mr. Clutch for my clutch?
Yeah, you know what? I'll take it. And then finally, they're not even sponsoring the cup anymore. I had so many content ideas about how I was going to get that sponsorship deal. Look at me stood next to my car like, do you want your tyres to look as shit as this? No. That's why you should go for Continental Tyres.
Are you sick of driving on illegal treads?
Me too. Get yourself to the Emirates with Continental Tyres. Are you driving around the country to football games? You know what you need? Continental Tyres. Honestly, they've missed a treat.
Yeah, we could have shoehorned that into every story, every post.
The amount I have spent on tyres this year, I would do. I'm not ashamed. Not ashamed at all. But no, so what's it called now? Remind me. You just said it.
The FA Women's League Cup.
It's a bit average, that, isn't it?
It's actually sponsored by FA Women's League Cup.
Has it lost a sponsor?
It still says Continental. It still says Continental Tires.
Oh, they don't have the name on it anymore.
The Women's League Cup. Continental sponsored the competition from its inception until 2024. Following the completed takeover by the Women's Professional Leagues Limited, it's now just the Women's League Cup. Sorry, Continental.
Well,
I mean, I'm sure they make a lot of money elsewhere, so it's probably not for them. But they could have had your fitted out.
Pirelli has the F1, but Continental had the Women's League Cup. I know, I'm upset that we can't call it the thing that sounds like Conti Cup but isn't Conti Cup anymore. Gutting, but by the by. Great stuff. Anyway, that's the game that we're up to on Wednesday. Sorry, quick nip back to the Chelsea 7-0. You mentioned it. It's wild that every single one of those goals was scored by a different player.
Well, 2 of them were scored by the same player. I want to say Guru Wrighton. But the rest were scored by... So that's 5 out of 7 scored by different people.
Yeah, it's just like passing it around the team, innit?
Yeah. They're just having a little practice. Sorry,
Yeah.
Crystal Palace.
Yeah. I
But that
do.
must feel disheartening, you know.
Yeah.
You've worked your way up the championship. You qualified for the WSL, and obviously you're going into it knowing that you're up against some really big dogs. But
Yeah.
you know, like you've worked hard to get there. I suppose it's a little bit like the reverse with Bristol dropping down into the championship. You know, we were saying that when we were at the Birmingham game. It must be kind
Yeah.
of strange for the players to come in and obviously playing in a tier down. Still a very good, still a very good league. But like you're coming having played like the best teams in the country. So you know, I
Yeah.
don't know where that's going, but yeah.
No, I know what you mean. It's kind of like if you're obviously there's a fine line between playing a team that's better than you that pushes you all to play at your best versus playing a team that's thrashing you and you start to lose motivation at all because you're like, well, what's the point? We've lost so heavy at this point. So it's like when it's like new team that's in there, I love an underdog. I always have, and that's boring because everyone loves an underdog. Like that's not a unique thing to say. I'm not like, oh God, I'm one of those different girls. I love an underdog. No, I know everybody loves an underdog, but like to see an underdog get absolutely destroyed, it's like, oh.
Yeah, it becomes a little boring to watch. Like,
Yeah,
I'll even say, you know, when Arsenal do it, there is a part of me that's like, oh yeah, of course, like I'm glad Arsenal have won. But you start to think, like, what game was it towards the end of last season that it was like 6-0, and it just kind of felt like, you're just kind of hammering it in now.
Yeah, it gets a little bit like I don't feel like we should celebrate each goal. Like once you get past the 5th, like I don't really want to celebrate any more goals. I feel mean.
I feel bad.
The same with them. I know when England played Scotland and that game that we didn't get through to the Olympics, and it was like devastating. But even then, I obviously wanted us to win by that landslide amount. But even I was like, oh, I feel sorry for Scotland.
Yeah.
I don't want them to lose by that much. They're only next door. Apparently Barcelona, Nicole's just put Barcelona beat Granada. Is it Granada? 10-1 the other day.
Oh, and again, that's just shooting practice for Barcelona. When you're a team like that, it must be like when you see that match coming up, like you must think to yourself, oh, come on. Do we really have a chance?
You just be like, no, I don't want to. I'm just going to stay at home.
We're going to sit this one out. I mean, apart from like getting the opportunity to play against the best, like undeniably the best league. Yeah, it must be tough coming into that with the attitude of, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to play for my team and I'm going to try my best versus just like it feeling like a run around in the park and the other team is battering you.
Brogue said 9 different scorers as well. That's just...
Hopefully we don't encounter that when we play any of our teams in the Champions League group stages that just got announced. We're through to the next group stage. I believe
How do you feel about that?
James got us tickets to the Bayern Munich match and another match, which I now can't remember. But she just put in our group chat earlier, oh, Juventus maybe?
Yeah.
She put in, I've got tickets for these. And I went, cool.
And now I need to pay back.
I feel excited. I think that Bayern Munich are a fantastic team. Juventus are a fantastic team. It'll be exciting to see them playing some really big European powerhouses. Obviously, as we progress through the stages, which we will, let's be confident. Then, it'll be exciting to see them come against... Like, it's always fun to see them play other English teams, but obviously we see them in the league, whereas this is an opportunity for us to see some of the best teams in Europe play. Yeah. I mean, it was like when we went to see Barcelona and Chelsea, that was really exciting because, how often do you get to see a team like Barcelona play on English soil?
It was a good game.
So I think that'll be good. What about you? How are you feeling about the...
Brogues has put it as well. I'm excited. I'm excited for the Barca City match. Like, one is just fun to watch both those teams play. Like, I know I shouldn't say I like Man City, and I don't really like them in the sense that I don't like it when they play our team, but they are good to watch. Like, they've got good people everywhere. But Barcelona are just really good to watch. But saying that, you know, when you're like, forgive me, my technical knowledge is piss poor, but they seem to play very differently. Like, so it'd be really interesting to see those two ways of play against each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's where you see the differences, right? Because English style of playing is very different to the rest of Europe. In the same way that, like, when we went to see Barcelona, you could see how different the style was. So I find it really fun when you get to matches like that, and it's almost like you can't quite predict how it's going to go because they've such different styles and they have to adapt to those different styles. I think that makes just for a really interesting match, as opposed to like sort of knowing, okay, well, we kind of know how Arsenal play, we kind of know how Chelsea play, we kind of know how, this, that, and the other play. It keeps it more exciting, it's more fresh.
Nicole's what I was going to say, but I couldn't quite remember it. They play tiki taka. That's the. Yes. I was going to say they play taki something. I was like, I don't have it somewhere. It's within me, but I'm not sure what it is. But that is it, tiki taka.
We're going to the home ones, I think. Look, Amy's in charge, but we're definitely not going to Germany or Italy, so we must be going to the home ones.
Someone asked as well on here if I'm going to Norway, and I wasn't really sure why I would be, so I thought I'd bring that up. Is there something is there a game in Norway?
Where the other teams we're playing are Valerenga, which I might be saying wrong, and somebody in the comments jump in because I can't see it on this page.
No, no one's saying. I don't know. So Han said, "Are we going on Sunday?" Yes. Sunday is Emirates, right? Yes.
Yes, I am dog sitting, and I've told my parents, I'm dog sitting for my parents, and I've said, you better pick that dog up on Sunday before I need to go to the Emirates, baby, because I shall not be bringing the dog to the Emirates.
I think Dexter would make friends at the football. So
I think Dexter would be an absolute terror at the football, and you know it too.
I didn't want to say it because you told me off.
No, you can say it. It's true.
That dog would be a terror.
Tempted. If it wasn't going to cost me money, I'm sort of low-key tempted to go and get him groomed while he's here.
Why?
Because he's a mess, girl.
Okay,
he hates being groomed. So
I don't
anyway,
want to hear it.
enough about my dog.
I'm meeting up with Linda from work on the Saturday for a nice little coffee.
Another hot off the press that you may or may not have seen, Christine Sinclair, the Canadian superstar, record scorer for Canada, is set to retire.
Right, you said this to me, and I was like, you know what? I don't really know enough. So tell me something.
Okay, he has the record for the most regular season goals for the Portland Thorns with 64. And that's the third highest total in NWSL history. So that's the league they play in America.
Okay, right.
Soccer league. She also is only one of 2 players to score at 5 Women's World Cups. Who's the other player? Do you know?
She's one of 5 players, what?
She's one of 2 players.
Yeah.
To score at 5 Women's World Cups. Do you
Who's
know
the other player?
Who the other player might be?
Marta.
Eileen, you've got it right. It is Marta. Yes. So, Christine Sinclair, huge. She played at 6 World Cups, won an Olympic gold medal at the Tokyo Games. She's a legend.
Okay. If she wants me to look up, shall I do the research?
For what?
Just look her up. Is it worth me getting in a Google hole?
Do you know what? Maybe not worth getting in a Google hole, but just legends. Acknowledging legends where it's due. 191 goals in 331 international appearances. So she's a big deal.
Okay, cool.
And well done to Marta Sinclair.
I mean, always well done to Marta.
Amazing career.
Always welcome tomorrow.
Yeah, always.
Cordelia, I have seen your message and I will look for it when we get out if I have any energy left. She sent me a message. Holly, can you do your work, please, in the comments? Thank you. Love you very much. Someone who shares the same name as manager, I think, maybe. Okay, are you up for 5 minutes on?
I am up for my 5 minutes on. I forgot that I was next. So 5 minutes on. Well, I saw this news story the other day, and I immediately, I mean, I showed you it at the time, and then you said, "Don't tell me anymore. Save it for all the queers."
I don't actually remember what that was.
Perfect.
Was that today?
No, it was the other day. This is why you're perfect for these things, because I will tell you something and then you'll instantly forget it.
I think I give off an energy that I might remember things. And then you get to know that that's just not the case.
Well, I mean, I should know better, shouldn't I? So, my 5 minutes on is...
Thanks, Ollie.
And let me know in the comments, either of our comment sections, if you've ever heard of this before. But my 5 minutes is on the... And let's be real, it's not going to be 5 minutes, and I will eventually say what I'm doing it on, is the Homeless World Cup. So
I do remember you saying this.
So until 2 days ago, I had never heard of this. I had no idea what it was. And I was really intrigued. So I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to save that for all the queers." So the Homeless World Cup, it's organised by the Homeless World Cup Foundation, which is a social organisation which advocates the end of homelessness through sport, and in this case, football. So it's an annual tournament. They have teams of homeless people from various countries compete. So in 2023, there were 69 countries that took part. So it was founded in, well, this is where the dates were kind of funny, because it was founded in 1999, but I think the first tournament wasn't played that year. So they founded the organization, but the first tournament wasn't played until slightly later. My notes are all mixed up. It was co-founded by a person called Mel Young and Harold Schmid. Their global headquarters are in Edinburgh, where I used to live, and it's had various host cities. They played in places like Gothenburg, Paris, Rio, Glasgow, Melbourne, Milan, Edinburgh. And this year they played in Seoul in South Korea. So it's all over the world. Like, I can't believe I hadn't heard of this before.
No, I haven't heard it at all.
Yeah. My notes are all mixed up. The current champs are Mexico in both the men and the women's category. So the men have won it 5 times and the women have won it 9 times. Even more impressive considering that the women were only added to the competition in 2008,
right?
And have competed in it ever since. It's broadcast on FIFA Plus. So next year, when the tournament's on, if anybody's interested, it's over now. So this year's tournament was from the 21st to the 28th of September, but next year it's shown on FIFA Plus. If anybody is interested in watching, it's a little bit different to the tournaments that we're used to, because they have a max of 4 players. So 3 outfield players, so like your defender, midfielder, and striker, and then 1 goalkeeper. And then you've got 4 subs, but they do rolling subs. So it's a bit like ice hockey where you sub out your subs like all the time. But you shouldn't realistically really need to do that, because the games are only 14 minutes long and they're played in 2 7-minute halves. So imagine like really fast paced, really like balls to the wall, going for it, competitiveness. And from what I was reading earlier, some of the matches get really, really heated. So the men and women.
Quick question, if you know the answer. So that's the Homeless World Cup, right? Homeless Football World Cup. And has it got a sponsorship? I guess if it's broadcast.
Yep. So it's sponsored by, they've got a lot of different global partners. I didn't actually write down who they were, but here we go. So they've got quite a lot of like global partners, and they raise money throughout the tournament, and then also they work throughout the year. So it goes, they collect donations that help fund the tournament, but also year-round work across the world. And they're using sports to transform lives. So FIFA is a partnership. Things like soccertalk.com. I mean, I haven't started some of these, but UEFA sponsor it. Loads of companies from the countries that take part. Loads of kind of sport and social change companies as well work with the member countries. So Mexico, both men and women's Mexico teams won this year. But there's a couple of different tiers. So in the women's competition, there's 16 teams. They go through stage 1, stage 2, and then to the trophy stage, and they play for 2 trophies. So the Homeless World Cup trophy and then tier 2 trophy. And the men's have 36 teams, and they play for 5 different trophies. So, for example, Ireland, they beat the USA 5-2 to win the Big Issue Korea Cup. So within the tournament, they have different cups that you can win. So it's not all just about like the one final cup, the way it would be like with the World Cup or the Champions League or something like that.
Can I give you a quick pause? You made it 34 minutes without saying Ireland.
And yet.
Sorry, carry on as you go.
So there's a couple of criteria that you need to play in the Homeless World Cup. So you need to be at least 16 years old. You have to have been homeless at some point, or have been an asylum seeker, or been in a drug or alcohol rehabilitation. So you can fit into sort of more than those categories. But the other thing is to qualify to play in any tournament, you have to have not played for one of the teams before, which I think's really I think that's really good because it gives lots of people a chance. Like, if you
get one chance to be in it.
Yeah, so if you had somebody who's really, really, really good, it's not like having like a Messi who then you can just roll out every tournament. I think it's nice to give lots of people lots of different opportunities, and also it's for a charitable social cause as well. So giving people a chance to travel to different countries, giving them a chance to be involved in such a brilliant competition. Where's the other one? Yes, if people want to know more, and we're definitely going to watch this.
Is this loads of people in the comments are saying there's a film on Netflix called The Beautiful Game, and everyone's talking about how wonderful it is underneath.
Yeah, so it came out this year, The Beautiful Game. It's got Bill Nighy in it, loads of like big names that you'd see. And it centres around the English squad as they compete in the Homeless World Cup. So that's your weekend watching. Homeless World Cup, not sure where it's on next year.
Female director as well, Sia Sharrock.
There you go. And if you want to check out more to do with it, then they have a website, homelessworldcup.org. And there's loads of news and stories. There's places you can donate. There's a shop. They talk about different projects that they've on through the year. It's a really, really cool social enterprise, and I'm really glad that I found out about it.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. That was really. I'm so glad I forgot. That's what you said, because I really enjoyed knowing nothing about that. Thanks.
No problem.
10 out of 10. Oh, that's so lovely. That was right on my street as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, when I was researching it, I was like, it's such a shame that they have to even have a tournament, because, homelessness, it's not something that when we watch on the news, it's just talking about countries that are far away and kind of like out of reach for us. It affects people who live down the street from us. It affects.
Well, they say. I used to do some help for Hull Homeless Charity Project, and this guy gave this big presentation about how in reality every single person in the world is only 2 decisions away from homelessness, and that could be your decision, or it could be someone else's decision that affects you. So it could be someone decides something that makes it so you lose your job, or you're in some kind of car accident that leaves you injured, that leads you to, there's so many decisions. You get evicted, and every single person in the world is only 2 decisions away from that homelessness state. And it really like drills home how like there's so many people who look down on homelessness, and in reality it could be any of us. It's just a lottery. Life is just a lottery.
For sure.
Yeah.
And how fantastic that there are social enterprises out there who are wanting to make a change and want to work with people and for people, which I think is a beautiful thing. And if we all did that a little bit more, who knows what the world could be like.
Yeah, I love that. Someone said, I can't remember who it was because the comment's gone, but they said it should be our homework this week that we should all watch the film and come back and talk about it next week. I agree. Go watch the beautiful game. Let's find out more. Come back. Everyone loved that, Katie. Well done. That went down a treat, an absolute treat. Brogues has put let's have an ATQSI trip to the Homeless World Cup next year.
I mean, listen, wherever it is, I'd be up for it.
Where was it? Where did you say?
It was in South Korea this year, but I don't know. And I would think it was in San Diego the year before. So do you know what? I'll be happy to go anywhere that it takes.
Let's go. It was about Love Monday Night Football education. I'm glad. That's what we're here for. Yeah, everyone's loved that. Thanks for the homework, Katie. I mean, it was 10 minutes, but you're forgiven. Brogue's going to put a timer on your head. The next one. Maybe that could be the thing. How long will it take before Katie gets 5 minutes on to 5 minutes?
I'm going to time myself there. Oh, Eileen says it's in Oslo next year. That's doable. We could get to Oslo.
That's Norway, right?
Norway.
Norway came up earlier, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, Norway.
Let's get ourselves telling us to go to Norway.
Maybe we go. I don't know. I'm down for it.
Maybe we go to Norway.
Top job, Katie. Everyone's giving you top points. I really enjoyed that.
Oh, we've got no fucking clue.
Yeah, do you want to tell me what you've got no fucking clue about? And I'll tell you. I'll give you some clues.
Well, as a recent Birmingham supporter, I have no fucking clue about the championship.
Oh my god, that's so convenient. If only
there was somebody who could tell me something about the championship.
So convenient, because I happen to have done some research on the championship.
Amazing.
Stop. So we kind of thought, and we've done it before, like to kind of have a bit more interest in, it's very easy to focus on the WSL and all the really easier to access football, I guess. Is that what we'd say? Still not easy to access, but easier to access. Some hands, but we need to get a sponsorship deal with the Norway Tourist Board. We can all go next year. We'll work on it.
Continental Tires, Norway, Norwegian Air. We can fly with them.
Yeah, get us all the way. We'll do a road trip. We'll pick everyone up around the country. Head up. Just keep going up. So we're saying like it's really easy sometimes to just focus on the WSL and not actually have more of an oversight of like lower leagues. So kind of making more of a point in our lives of actually supporting things. And I think it comes even more close to home when things like was it Thornby FC when they were grassroots football.
Yeah.
And then it came up with Reading, that people forget that we need to support all the leagues in order to keep the talent coming through. So we thought we'll go with Championship. So our good friends Birmingham City Women's Football Club are in there. But how much do you know about the Championship? And how much will you know at the end of this? So Championship is the second tier of football for women in England, and it replaced, are you ready, the ever so catchy the FA Women's Premiership League National Division.
That rolls off the tongue.
So originally we had WSL 1 and WSL 2 that started in 2014, but then they decided that WSL 2 just sounded a bit naff. I don't really know if there was a reason behind it, but they changed it to the Championship.
Which sounds definitely better.
It sounds better. And I think before it used to be called the FA Women's Championship, same as it used to be called the FA Women's Super League. And then they decided that to rebrand it in order to give more chances for sponsorship opportunities and give it a re-imaging, they allowed the sponsor to take the name. So since 2019, it's been sponsored by Barclays. And as we know, it will continue to be sponsored by Barclays as of whatever the recent deal was. 45 million? WSL and Championship? Yeah. And it was 3 more years.
3 more years.
3 more years. Okay, so it was established in 2014, and it used to be a summer league. So I think it used to run from either April, May to October. And then in 2018, they switched it, 2017 to 18, they switched around it, and now it runs from late August to May.
Okay. So kind of starting a little bit earlier than the WSL, but running through to around the same time as well.
Yes. So we are deep in it now. We're deep in the season. So there are 12 teams usually in the championship. Do you want to see if you can just guess 5? See if you've got 5 within you.
Okay. Birmingham.
Yes.
Bristol.
Yeah.
Durham.
Yeah. Think one based in London, ran by a woman who's a boss bitch.
London City Lionesses.
Yeah.
And Reading used to be in it, R.I.P.
You out?
I think I'm out.
Think Helen Hardy.
Newcastle.
Okay, so yeah, someone else put Charlton. So the teams are this year. Are you ready to count them?
I've got both hands.
Because that will lead to my next fact. BCFC, Blackburn Rovers, Bristol City, Charlton Athletic, Durham, London City Lionesses, Newcastle United, Portsmouth, Sheffield United, Southampton, and Sunderland. 11? And why is there not 12? Because Reading. So one of the things that's a big problem with the championship is that it's not got, their teams aren't as looked after as the WSL. It's less in the public eye. It kind of gets put under. So obviously we had the issue with Reading where their funding was completely cut and they qualified for the championship and now they've been pushed straight down to I think tier 4 or 5. Not sure. Can't remember. So that's sad. Also within them, they have Blackburn Rovers, who I remember were very recently in the press they brought it to the press because they weren't getting treated right at the football club. That was Blackburn Rovers, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
I'm almost confident. If someone could comment if I've got that wrong, but I think that was Blackburn Rovers. So for the first time ever, they're going forward with 11 teams in the championship rather than 12, which is really sad that a team that did qualify doesn't get that experience. Yeah. Yeah, someone's put his Blackburn Rovers with the 16-hour contracts. And I think there's loads of stuff as well about how they weren't allowed to use the changing rooms or something, the facilities. They were told that they couldn't use something like something to do with like the drinks facilities or something if the men needed something weird and ridiculous. And I can't remember what it was. So usually 2 teams from the championship get relegated and then 1 goes up to the WSL. So the bottom 2 get switcherooed all the time. So really interesting. I had this stupid moment where I was looking at the list of teams that have won and I was like, how interesting. No, not one team has won it twice. But that's because they go up. So I was like, but then that does mean that the team that comes down doesn't necessarily win it again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and I guess so far it's only been running for 10 years. At this point. Yeah. So there's still only 10 opportunities for a team to have won the championship. But at the moment, the same team hasn't won it twice. So for example, if Bristol win it this time and get promoted, then they will be the first team to win it twice as far as I can see. Okay,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
It's not like how we're like, oh, Chelsea have won the league like whatever 7 times or whatever it is.
But that's because they can keep winning it because
they're the top flight.
Yeah, that is as high as you can go, so you can keep on winning it technically. Yeah. Like I mean, QS, they're doing pretty well at winning it over and over again. So yeah, I thought it was quite interesting. What else did I write down? The first ever winners were Sunderland, who famously have had some bad boy ballers. So Lucy Bronze, Beth Mead, Jordan Nobbs.
The Northeast do be producing some ballers.
They do. Yeah, that's all I've got to bring to the table today.
Well, do you know what? We having only recently, and I do think it's a shame, like, because we talk a lot about like supporting grassroots football, but we've only recently started going to championship games. So I would definitely like to go to more. Like, we love Birmingham, but I'd like to see some of the other teams as well. Like maybe go and see the London City Lionesses, teams like that, and see some of those players who play for national teams. Are really good players.
Yeah.
Do their thing. So thank you, because I actually, obviously we're going to Birmingham games, but I didn't actually know a lot about the structure of the championship and sort of some of its history. So thank you very much for that education.
Pleasure. And Holly's put you should go to the Nations League games as well. I actually really want to. I want to go to either a Hull game or a Lincoln City game, or like Maidenhead is down the road.
It is just down the road. In fact, you're
in and I think it's I know. I think as well, like I feel like big city teams get a lot of attention. It's easier to get attention for obvious reasons. They've got the population to get the attention. I want to make more of an effort to go to games that aren't as populated. Like once I went to a Wycombe Wanderers game. Get this girl a nap. And it was really fun. It was really lovely, and it was all really it was £3. And to be honest, I sat there and I did some notes for something that I needed to do at the at work. But it was just nice to sit there and just watch. Yeah. Someone's maybe we should have an All the Queers Some Idea meet-up grassroots football match. We could do that. We could just have a random one that we all go to and just give a random team a good crowd.
Yeah, and there's definitely lots of teams around this local area that are, playing in FA Cup, Women's Cup in their qualifying rounds. Woodley United are in their third qualifying round.
Oh my God, we could do that.
On the road. Further afield, we've got High Wycombe, Oxford. There's tons of teams to go out there and support and to get out there and see. So
yeah,
I'd be down to clown.
Nicole's put Dulwich Hamlets will have dogs. Rejects. Oh my God, we could do a great day out.
We could do a big day out.
We could do an All the Queer tours. Oh my God, I've got so many ideas. My brain's bubbling.
Now that I've got my new clutch and you've got your new tyres,
well,
we can go on a tour.
It'd be like Michelin, they did the hotel, the restaurant guide. Oh, the football guide. Teams worth a long journey to.
Yeah, for sure. We could do a little review of their food situation, their merch situation. Their chance situation,
coverage from rain situation, as it would definitely be.
Yeah, is this adequate? How much could I be a pitch invader?
Oh my God, amazing! We did see a pitch invader the other day. Those little lads at the Chelsea game, and I know you should be. I know you should be oh, they shouldn't be doing that, but at the same time, they look so happy.
It was It was two lads who must have been about 11 or 12, and they just tore across that pitch.
They were fast. They were so fast.
They were giving the stewards a bit of a run around. I'm not gonna lie.
And then afterwards, I don't know if they knew each other or not, but they fist bumped at the end, they're cheeky, and I was like.
Yeah. They're going to talk about that for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, they're going to talk about that forever.
They went into school on that Monday and were like, guess what I did at the weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. More criteria for rating. Brogues has put, does Brogues need a coat or not? I don't think we can blame the stadium for that, Brogues. And rate the stadium, lose. Oh my God, I've thought that every time.
That is a good shout, because as you know, when we arrive at any event ever, what's the first thing I say?
Wesley, need a wee. Go piss girl.
Exactly.
Or as manager Matt said the other day, Go for a piss girl. Go for a piss girl. Is that what you
Phrase
say?
so succinct and adding extra words to it. Right.
Okay, what do we miss?
What did we miss?
No, we went through quite a lot, to be fair.
We did. We went through quite a lot. I'll tell you one thing we missed. That the Chelsea Man United WSL game has been postponed.
Oh yeah, scheduling.
It's rescheduled because of the Chelsea European schedule. So because they're playing on the 8th of October, that's just 2 days after their United game would be. So they want to be like, hey, we're not going to be fresh. We're not going to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. So apparently numerous discussions took place, and they came to an amicable solution to this scheduling conflict. But then they were left with no other option but to confirm the postponement. So I think that, some people will be very disappointed because Chelsea, Man United, that's obviously a big game. Lots of people will be travelling, have their tickets, things like that. But I don't know when they'll reschedule it to. Jonas Eidevall said earlier this month that he wasn't very happy with the scheduling of the European matches with the WSL matches. So, and obviously recovery time is a big concern for players, especially with the ACL crisis. I mean, there was a player, I feel bad that I really can't remember her name, but there was a player tore ACL in one of the opening games.
Yeah. I can't remember either.
For recovery, like it is a big deal, particularly in women's football, which is underdeveloped in funding and understanding about these things. Brooks has said Galley, yep. So
yeah, Aurora Galley, thanks.
It's it's worth factoring in, but at the same time, in terms of scheduling, money spent, hotels, travel, all of this stuff, it seems a bit of a nightmare.
I think you forget, and I think that I've been kind of like not a victim to it because that's a silly way to say it, but like I've been silly enough to sometimes be like, oh yeah, but it's like one game every 3 days. Like it's not like they're like fitting it in around like another job or something like that. But then you forget that actually like it's the travel, it's the recovery, like 90 minutes of sprinting around. Like it's not like it's like a jog for 90 minutes even. It's fast-paced sprinting for 90 minutes. Like that's actually exhausting. Like
you need to factor in muscle recovery time. Like these athletes are on bespoke nutritional diets. They have bespoke training plans. They have, recovery sessions factored into their lives. I mean, it's like when we talk about our friend Susanna and her life being scheduled to the minute. It's the same with these elite athletes. And so, having to play a game 2 days later, to us, it might sound like, I can do it, but no one can.
Absolutely not. Case, but they run between 9 to 15 kilometers per game.
Wow.
Which makes sense. If you think like the average 5K at a steady pace is about 30 minutes. Like that's sprinting. So they're probably doing it at pace. That's a lot. Believable. It's a lot.
Start up is so hard on your muscles and joints as well.
With twist, like.
Well, that's how the ACL problems happen.
Usually barely ever actually on the ball, are they? It's usually just like turning.
Yeah, so I do see it from both sides. I see that it's really disappointing for the fans and in terms of scheduling and factoring those things in, of course. But I do also see it from them as a team from that perspective as well, because they do have to think about their players and their recovery and things like that. So interesting one. I'll be interested to see as the teams progress through the stages whether this starts becoming more of a scheduling issue for especially our teams in the WSL going forward. But yeah, I think that's kind of the only thing that I had down for what we
Yes, I
missed.
think we've covered.
Think of anything else?
We've jumped around. I think we've covered most of it.
We have jumped around. Let's do a quick table check. So this pains me to say a little bit. Chelsea are top of the league.
No.
Man U, second. Want to guess who's third?
Man U second.
Yeah, Man U second. Want to guess who's third?
It's Arsenal.
It's not Arsenal, no.
Crystal Palace.
It's Spurs. Arsenal are fourth. Man City are fifth. Crystal Palace are actually bottom of the table, having lost both their games. So we've all played 2 games. We obviously drew our first game with Man City. Chelsea, Man U, and Tottenham Chelsea and Man U have won both their games.
Right.
So they are currently leading with 6 points each, but Chelsea have a goal difference of 8-4. So we're at the very start of the season. It's all to play for.
Oh yeah. Someone's thought I think Arsenal will just scrape third. I'll be happy with that.
You know what? I'll be happy with that too.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to hear some? Right, so this is what I put in chat. So for anyone who used to listen to all the quiz when it was 2 quiz some idea of me and Courtney, we had a very catchy tagline which we ended every session with, and it was in mead we trust, in bronze we lust. Katie has made a very serious statement that she will not be saying in bronze we lust, and that she doesn't trust Beth Mead that much. So I typed into ChatGPT because I couldn't think of anything. Okay, this is what I put. Create a podcast sign out tagline with England women's football player names. Okay. First of all, it really took it very literally, and this is what it came out with. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep kicking it like Lucy Bronze, chasing dreams like Fran Kirby, and showing heart like Leah Williamson. See you on the pitch.
I ain't saying all that.
And I was like, okay, let me change what I put in, make it a little bit less
sincere.
Yeah. So I put, again, create, but I meant 5 options. Okay, so I thought I need a few more options. You'll create a podcast sign out tagline with England women's football player names, and I meant at least 5 options, and it's given me 5 more. It included 5 players. So thanks for listening. Until next time, keep shining like Adam White, defending fiercely like Millie Bright, showing skill like Fran Kirby, leading with heart like Leah Williamson, and striking like Beth Mead. Catch you on the pitch. Okay. Then I was like, right.
The start of it rhymed.
Yeah.
Like Millie Bright. I like that. I mean,
Yeah, that works.
lost, but
okay, and then I thought, right, okay, I'm really going to go to town here. I'm going to be as detailed as I can. This is me learning about how to use AI. It's all going well. So this is what I ended up with in the end, because I put a few more searches in and it all went a bit crazy. This is what my final search was. Create at least 5 podcast sign-out taglines with England women's football players' names in brackets, max 8 words, 2 players. For example, in mead we trust, in bronze we lust. Okay? And this is what it came out with. Sure, here are 5 catchy taglines. Okay. In white we score, in bright we defend. And then I realised it's not done them rhyming. So then I put it in again and I put with rhyming in it. Here we go. Here's the 5 options. In white we unite, in bright we ignite.
ooh.
With Walsh we thrash, in tune we flash.
That could get wrong connotations.
It's a risky one. In Kirby we swerve, with Daly we serve. Then it took back to the original players that we went with once before. In bronze we boast, in mead we toast.
We don't. At that point, I'm happy to just stick with the trust and lost.
And last one. In Earps we leap, in Paris we keep. But I thought that should be the other way around, because Earps is a keeper. So surely it should be in Paris we leap, in Earps we keep.
Yeah.
Or with Earps we keep. So that one I was a bit like, ChatGPT, get better. Anyway, I still don't think we have a winner there, so I'm going to go back to the trying one.
Yeah, I think we need to do a little bit more. I mean, we could extend it further than just England, Claire, seeing as you have not an English person. I mean, not that Courtney was.
This is true.
South African, but hang on, I'm being asked to verify myself, and I wasn't very good at it.
Move that puzzle piece. You've got it.
I've moved that puzzle piece.
Yeah, we need McCabe on the outro. Someone's put that. We do. I'll work on it. Leave it. That's my homework.
Next week. That's our challenge for next week.
Next week. Also, I feel like AI, it looks like Al written down. So do I need to credit anything but Al? I don't know.
No, not when it's coming up with things like that.
But that's it. That's what we've got for this week. With Walsh, we thrash. In Tune, we flash. Oh, so good. So good.
I mean, it's not good.
It's not good. It's just not good, you know?
All right. Well, on that note, shall we?
Okay. With Wall Street. We didn't have time for I'm proud of, but we should try to keep it close to 10:30.
I mean, time. Do you want to do? We could do a quick I'm proud of.
We should do a quickie.
Let's do a quickie. Right.
Oh no, I need to verify. There we go. I've done it. Okay. What are you proud of?
Well, nobody in my comments has said anything that they're proud of yet, so.
Matt, you got to think what you're proud of.
Oh, what I'm proud of. Oh, yeah.
There you go. Coming out here with the homeworks, but you haven't actually done your own work.
Ooh.
What am I proud of?
What am I proud of? What am I proud of?
I've got a proud of. It's not football related, but I'm going in with it.
Okay, go in with it.
I'm proud of my friend Jo because her wedding, she was so brave and she did so many things herself. Like she walked down the aisle without a dad. She did it with a partner. She did her own speech at a wedding. She just broke so many traditions and she did it so well. And I was like, that's a woman I'm proud of. And it was great. And I've been proud of her for 21 years. So I'm proud of you.
That's really nice, and I'm not going to be able to top that now because in my head I was like, I'm proud that I was able to drive your car.
That's still something you should be proud of. You did well.
You know what I'm proud of? I'm proud of my clutch going on a rainy night, and I still managed to drive it home. Did I know that my clutch had gone? Was I driving it home just willy-nilly? Yes.
Do I need to know that? No. Not at all. You know what?
Did I have a little bit of a breakdown about it? Yes. But we got it sorted. And I was able to drive your car smoothly, I think.
You know what? I think personally, not to brag, but I think you should change your I'm proud of to that specific moment when we pulled up at Cleethorpes and you said it was the sexiest thing you'd ever seen me do.
Okay. I'm proud of you for parallel parking in the most precision. What am I saying? Precision. How do you
with
say
the most
that?
precision.
Precision. This is like it's giving spork and fun, you know. The spin and fork one. Precision. No. Okay. You parked precisely.
Thank you. You ruined it, but it was great. It was the best thing I've ever done. Okay, I've got a few I'm proud of.
Incredibly beautiful.
Thank you. So we've got oh god, my eyes have gone funny. Ooh. I'm proud of myself being able to start a new college. Very proud of you, Emily. Maddie, the mental side of an injury. I have a long time knee injury. It stopped me doing my sport. I'm guessing we're proud that you're keeping going. I'm proud that my local team Exeter City are having a Her Game 2 weekend this week, and I'm getting to do the physical program cover that's being sold both days. That's cool. Nicole, I'm proud of, shameless plug, being on the Versus Top 50 list. I saw that. Did you see that today?
No.
The Versus, they did a top 50. I think it was like game changers in football. And Nicole, with the Lost Lionesses play, down there is playwright in the 50. Big
Amazing.
names. I did mean to I meant to message you about that. You just reminded me. That was cool. You shameless plug yourself. Han, I'm proud of my vintage fit for Sunday coming through. Oh, I love a vintage fit. Lauren's proud of another teacher training job interview I have. Go smash it, girl.
That one in my comments. I've got a few proud ofs here as well.
Go for it.
Charlie's proud. He won in Orange at Assembly today. Rosie proud that she survived a tough health week without crying. Kudos to you. I did not survive the week without crying. Shauna said, "Don't minimize your achievements." Thank you, Shauna. I won't. Lauren said in mine as well about her teacher training job interview. So well done. Ollie said someone pressed the reset button. That was clearly when I was trying to say words. And Ossian, please tell us if we're ever saying that wrong or right. I'm proud of coming second in the Macmillan Cake Bake at the village pub. And Ellie went to netball in the rain.
10 out of 10 from everybody. I'm proud of all those things.
10 from the gang. Well done, guys.
I hate playing netball in the rain. There's a feature saying that you were malfunctioning, and I'd agree. Okay, that's it. Are you ready for the round off?
Right, guys. Well, we
with
don't
Walsh
have a
we
tagline,
flash.
so bye, I guess.
In tune we flash.
All right.